Birdman was allegedly making a lot of money in the streets, so he had the clout, he had the means to do so. So he would start searching for artists in New Orleans, and as we know, he would then start signing a lot of people. And even as far back as his early days, Birdman has always been accused of taking advantage of his artists, but not just taking advantage of his artists financially and not paying them what they're due, but he has also been accused of taking advantage of his male artists in other ways.
You will definitely be upset. You will definitely be upset because you will be outdone. Nigga, start working out though. Just start like get in the gym though. You know, I ain't got a. But you know something, my thumbs is so strong from counting all that paper. But yo, hold on, tell you. Now, let me stop. We gotta do this. Do our work. Do our work. But you ain't have enough style to give me a pair of Reeboks.
Go right.
Hey, I'm not a person he kissed.
You know what's crazy? For years, people joke that if Diddy is bad, Birdman is just the Southern version with gold grills. But the more you look at the receipts, the more it starts to feel like we've had it backwards this whole time. Even insiders say Birdman doesn't just make money off music. He gets it other ways, by squeezing the very artists who trust him with their careers. That's not a rumor from the comments. That's people who've been close enough to see the playbook up close. And then, there's the energy he shares with Diddy. You've seen the clips. Diddy acting way too familiar, kissing Birdman on the head, laughing it off like it's nothing. It's the same old story. Two powerful men who just happen to always be surrounded by young, hungry rappers and interesting parties. Lil Wayne himself has joked that he's the only man Birdman ever kissed. Fans laughed, made memes, and moved on. But Birdman's own brother, Terrance Williams, says, when he saw that kiss, it didn't look like a joke. It looked like homie love, a game grown men play with boys who depend on them. So tonight, we're not just asking if Birdman's a tough label boss. We're asking if the man the internet calls baby is actually running a system that makes Diddy look like the warm-up act. Now here's where it stops feeling like internet gossip and starts looking like a system. Birdman has been running since everybody around him was still a kid. When people talk about Birdman, they love to say, he came from nothing. He just doesn't know how to show love. But look at when he shows up in these boys' lives. It's never when they're grown, rich, and stable. It's always when they're young, broke, and missing a father.
I want this documentary out. I remember him coming, he came and got me. And when I got in the front seat, it was a female in the back seat, put the gun in the back of my head, threw my hands up. He said, Stunner, this Birdman, he was teaching somebody, I'm teaching you a lesson. You'll never jump in the front seat. And, you know, somebody behind you, always be able to make sure who it is behind you, if you trust them, blah, blah, all that stuff. And I used to hold bags of money, drugs, for them. So, and then, like I said, I was 11, so he's like 5, 6 years older than I am. So, 14, I think he stretched. 16, yes. Yes, he had $1 million at 16.
Terrance Williams remembers being 11 years old with a camera on him for a street documentary, while Birdman was already the one with real money. Terrance is out there in the trenches, while his big brother is rumored to have $1 million before most kids even get a real job. From day one, Birdman wasn't just another hustler. He was the plug that changes how everyone around him moves. So, when Terrance hit rough patches, who pulled up? Not just a brother offering a couch, Birdman, the one in designer fits and luxury cars, the one who could fix things with a phone call. That power imbalance is the template he reused over and over, and nobody proves that template better than Lil Wayne.
We need to talk about the extremely creepy relationship between Lil Wayne and Birdman, because there's definitely something very wrong going on here.
Birdman kissing Lil Wayne has always been a hot topic to which not much explanation was ever given.
If you guys don't know who Lil Wayne or Birdman is, they're both very popular rappers with a long history together. That photo you just saw of Lil Wayne and Birdman kissing leaked back in October 2006. The internet went nuts because this picture is shocking. We've got two hard rappers out here kissing on the lips in public. But as I was doing research on this video, I was shocked at how many instances there are of these two just like smooching in public. Like back in 2006 on a show called Rap City, they were seen kissing as Lil Wayne entered the studio.
Got the whole family here. Good, Wayne. Big
No one else in that room got that kind of greeting, but there's this bond between Birdman and Lil Wayne, and they're not afraid to show it. I mean, I even found another video of them at a concert hanging out with 2 Chainz, and Lil Wayne and Birdman kiss. I couldn't really find the part where it exactly happened, and the music is really loud, so we're not going to play that clip, but there are many clips out there of them two just hanging out and then kissing. But what makes this freaky is that Birdman is kind of like a father to Lil Wayne. He's acted like a father in his life, and they even had an album come out. It's literally titled Like Father, Like Son. The album came out in 2006, the same year that creepy photo resurfaced. Some of the songs on this album are titled Stuntin' Like My Daddy and Leather So Soft. What's going on with this R. Kelly-like relationship between Birdman and Lil Wayne? In one interview, Lil Wayne said that he was the only person that Birdman kisses.
Wayne at one point on BET's 106 and Park even stated he was the only one who Birdman kisses.
I gotta ask, ladies, I got y'all up here. So when you kiss a girl, right?
Hey, I'm not the person he kissed.
It's weird how they claim each other like they're in a relationship. I mean, it almost seems like they're dating. I found one video on YouTube titled Birdman Tries to Kiss Lil Wayne Again, but Weezy ain't having it. And you'll see in this clip that Birdman's like kind of like grabbing on to Lil Wayne and like trying to get closer to him, and it seems like Lil Wayne is upset with him.
Wayne's real father isn't in the picture. His stepfather, a man he loved, gets eliminated. His mom is left trying to keep a talented, restless boy away from the streets. That's exactly when Birdman slides in, offering safety, studio time, and a way out. At 11, Wayne is signed to Cash Money. By his teens, he's calling Birdman daddy on camera. By his 20s, he's one of the greatest rappers alive. And Birdman is cashing every check that comes with it.
How did you guys become so close?
His parents went to school with my brother and sister.
Got it.
Honestly, when he was young, I met him through another guy named Lil Slim. But when he was young, his mama didn't want him around me.
So Birdman met Lil Wayne when Wayne was 8 years old, which now this is kind of starting to sound like a grooming situation. And I feel like Lil Wayne's mother knew that Birdman was up to no good. Reports claim that Lil Wayne's mother did not want her son to be around Birdman, and that's because he had a reputation on the streets. And I mean, I wouldn't want my 8-year-old hanging out with, a big rapper either.
And so I understood that, but he just kept coming. He wanted it. He wanted the life. And I just wanted to help him because I ain't want him to live my life. I just saw some young bro with some talent, and I thought I could help him. And that's what I did. I just saw some little youngsters lost like I was at their age, and I wanted to see how I could bless them and help them go to school and don't be like I was.
Birdman can try to frame it a certain way, but at the end of the day, an 8-year-old doesn't need to be involved in the rap scene. But I understand why he wanted to help, because he had gone through a tough upbringing himself, so he wanted to protect Lil Wayne. But he ultimately did the opposite, because he didn't protect him from anything. In 1995, Lil Wayne was 12 years old, and he signed to Cash Money Records. He actually joined the label as a duo with another person, and their group was called BGZs, and they put out an album titled True Story. That same year, Lil Wayne's stepfather, Rabbit McDonald, is killed. As a result, Birdman takes on even more of a father figure role. It seems like this Rabbit McDonald, Rabbit is his nickname, was really Lil Wayne's father figure growing up until he was killed. And I was trying to figure out how he died, and I found this one article that claims that he got kidnapped at a club. They shot him and threw his body right out of the car. I mean, imagine being 12 and learning that's what has happened to pretty much your father. This gave Birdman the perfect opportunity to hone in on Lil Wayne's life and take advantage of a vulnerable boy.
Meanwhile, those kisses on the lips that fans used to shrug off as that's just how they are look different when you hear Terrance's take in interviews. He calls it homie love and gay games, saying Birdman looked like he was in love. not just being a proud father. He never names a specific crime, but he does tell you straight up that what he saw was enough to make him keep his distance from certain parts of that world. And as Wayne gets older, his body language changes too. Early on, he lets Birdman kiss him like it's normal. Years later, in newer footage, you see him turn his head, pull back, laugh it off, but the discomfort is clear. That's what conditioning looks like when the kid finally realizes the dynamic was never as innocent as it was sold to him. All of this sits on top of a simple, ugly pattern. Terrance explains. Birdman thrives around vulnerable boys, fatherless, broke, hungry, and desperate to make it. He shows them money, calls it family, and makes sure they need him more than he needs them. Whether it's paying a hitman brother less than the middleman cut, or signing a child rapper with no father to a deal he can't escape, Birdman always seems to walk away richer, and the people who depended on him walk away traumatized, broke, or at war with the very man who once kissed them on the forehead and called them son. So when Terrance says he's seen enough to stay away, and Wayne spends years fighting the man he once worshipped in court, it's hard to keep pretending this is just old school tough love. It starts to look like a business model built on boys who never had a chance to say no. The money and the kisses are just the surface. Terrance's story is where you really start to see how deep this goes. Birdman didn't just grow up around the streets. He learned how to use the streets. And, according to Terrance, that included using him.
Demolish everything and rebuild like little townhouses.
Right. That happened because of Katrina, right?
No, before Katrina, they had this about the project. It was coming with this new plan to build new stuff. So when I come home, I'm riding up Claiborne, I was just so sick. I didn't want to go down the block to really look at it, because I had got pictures when I was in prison, pictures and stuff. But just to see that stuff, like, man, it ain't the project. You know, it's just...
It's not the same.
No, because it's like, they're like little townhouses now. They're pretty little, it's still low income, but it's beautiful little townhouses. Ain't no more hallway cuts, you know, courtyards, no more of that. It's over with. Oh, man, but I'm happy too, because I think if they still had that, I would be in the streets. I would be back in that Magnolia trying to think that I'm running stuff. So I'm happy with it.
You would have went back, if the projects were the same, you think you would have went back and you'd be there right now?
Yeah, because I felt like that was a safe space for me. Because you got cuts and hallways and duck off, so I'd be like, I'm back out here in the jungle. Yeah.
Damn.
I'm happy, but I'm happy that they got rid of that project. Because, you know, when you used to doing stuff, running stuff, and now you going away for a while, but now you back, it's like, I'm back, I need to see what's up. This is where I come from. But I know it's a lot of cliques now, I know a lot of people choosing sides, but you in the jungle, so you know that's gonna go with the territory. And like I said, I'm just happy they didn't have it, because I would have wanted to go back and see what was going on.
All the projects in the area are different, right?
Yes.
The Calio and the Melf?
Magnolia, Melf. The Magnolia, the Calio, the Melf, the Desire, Florida, St. Thomas, Lafitte, Iberville.
In one interview, Terrance calmly explains that when he was younger, he was the one doing the dirty work. He talks about being a hit man, taking on jobs that could get him deleted or locked up forever. And who was in the middle, connecting the dots and collecting the bigger bag? Birdman. Terrance says straight up, his big brother was the middleman on missions, where Terrance was the one risking his life. But when the money came back, Birdman was always rolling in cash, while Terrance got crumbs. That's important because it shows you Birdman's mindset. This isn't just old school hustler behavior. This is a man who can look at his own kin, someone doing deletions, robberies, whatever, for the team, and still think, how do I eat the most off this? Now, take that mentality and apply it to young rappers.
Bad contract. It was a bad contract, and it was just other things going on outside of that where I felt like I needed to get paid for, like shows, a lot of things, man.
I always wondered was it the fact that you were making money, but you just weren't making as much as Baby and Slim, so you felt like you needed a bigger cut because you were the hottest artist at the time.
Oh, no.
You wasn't getting nothing at all.
Man, my contract was for life, and I had to work my heart out. Yeah, I had to work my heart out for nothing.
Another artist, Juvenile, says he helped build Cash Money from the ground up, only to find out his contract basically had him working for life for peanuts. They started the record together. He brought hits, identity, culture, but he never got a real slice of the company. The way he tells it, they gave him enough to look successful, but not enough to be free.
I was under the impression part of the company was mine, you know, because we all started together. So it kind of got, you know, once the success came, things started switching up, and I was paying attention to it.
And there was a lot of artists on Cash Money at that time that had financial problems, like Manny Fresh left.
And he's not alone. You hear the same theme from others. I was under Birdman. I worked, I toured, I did everything I was supposed to do, and I didn't get paid what I was owed. Over and over, artists describe the same setup. Birdman rides in the front seat of the empire, while the people actually driving never touch the steering wheel. When you line that up next to Terrance's story, the pattern is painfully clear. Birdman finds people at their most desperate, whether it's a little brother willing to do the unthinkable, or a poor kid with a notebook and a dream, and he positions himself as savior and landlord. You get fame, maybe. He gets the masters, the money, and the final say. And this is why calling him even worse than Diddy hits different here. Diddy's been accused of doing wild things at parties, of throwing freak-offs, and misusing power. Birdman has all of that, plus a rap sheet of family betrayal and lifelong contracts that feel more like spiritual leases.
You will definitely be upset. You will definitely be upset because you will be outstunned, Start working out though. Just start like get in the gym though. You know something, I ain't gotta work out new. But you know something, my thumbs are so strong from counting all that. But yo, hold on, tell you. Now let me stop. We gotta do this. Do our work. Do our work. If you ain't have enough style to give me a pair of Reeboks, to ask you for a pair of Reeboks today. You ain't got no class. Yeah, fresh. You ain't even hook me up. You don't have no anything a boxer. Hey, yo, check this out. This is Diddy. That boy they call Diddy. I'm here in the biggest. This is not even. This is just a play around mansion. Believe that. This boy is really for real. He's number one stunner. I gave what he gave. Yeah, I got past it to him. You know what I'm saying? I was the number one stunner. I'm like a superior stunner now. You know, I'm gonna graduate to my master's degree at Star. And he's the number one. He's the one that's. You know how you have. I'm like Kennedy. You feel me? And he like Clinton. I was the president, but. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's OG. I was just but at the end of the day.
To Terrance, Birdman isn't just another ruthless mogul. He's a man who will gladly put you on the front line, profit from your risk, and then act like he barely knows you when the heat comes. If he'll do that to his own brother and the artist who built his label, what chance does any young boy really have once he steps into that mansion? If Birdman just stopped at money games and bad contracts, this would already be ugly. But what Terrance hints at, and what the internet's been whispering for years, is that there's a darker layer. Once you start looking at the type of artists he keeps closest, the internet's been calling Birdman Southern Diddy for a reason. Both of them built empires off young talent. Both of them throw wild parties, and both of them are never too far from a viral clip that makes people go, wait, what did we just see? But Birdman takes it a step further. Look at the pattern. Lil Wayne is a kid with no father. Young Thug, a rising star calling Birdman his lover, in captions NBA Youngboy, another troubled fatherless talent, pulled in close for long uncomfortable hugs. The ages change, the names change, but the template never does. Birdman shows up when the boy is young, hungry, and looking for someone to trust. And the rumors around what he does with that trust have only gotten darker.
Go any further, good luck to you. Pee-wee Roscoe slides in and goes, I don't forget. So he drives over to Lil Wayne's tour bus and got $20,000 in damages. Speeds off. Police go, boy, we know it was you. Pee-wee Roscoe said, all right, it's pretty obvious. Y'all got it. They take him to jail. The police check his phone and see that he called Birdman. He also called Young Thug like 8 times. They say, why you called him? He said, I don't know. He's like alluding though to he called him for a reason. He not trying to get locked up. Police said, you don't know? He said, I don't know. they was fighting. I don't know. So police go over to Birdman. They say, what's the deal? But Birdman says he would never do anything to hurt Lil Wayne. In fact, somebody from Lil Wayne's camp called him. He said Pee Wee Roscoe and Lil Wayne's camp, they kind of have like the same phone numbers. I don't really know how that part works, but he says they called him just to tell him about the argument, and that was it. But then police were able to get a jail call from Pee Wee Roscoe with Birdman saying, here's $250,000 and a brand new Porsche. You did everything you needed to do. They said, Birdman said, that was for something different. So they go over to Young Thug. Young Thug says he was doing a show in a whole another state and he truly has nothing to do with it. Then police get a confession from Pee Wee Roscoe. Kinda. Pee Wee Roscoe basically says, Birdman and Lil Wayne's argument led to me lighting up Wayne's tour bus, and that Birdman should also be held responsible for the crime. Now, this can mean anything, but regardless, Birdman cannot be put in jail for this. Now, police also allege that Pee Wee Roscoe has done a lot of work for Young Thug, if you know what I'm saying. So they bring it up in Young Thug's trial, saying like, bro, Pee Wee Roscoe did that to Wayne. It has to be Young Thug. The judge basically said, y'all got any proof? Police said, no, but...
In one breakdown, the story goes that when Wayne finally woke up to Birdman's true colors and tried to pull away, it didn't just turn into a lawsuit, it turned into a full-on cold battle. Allegedly, there was a huge blow-up. Wayne realized how long he'd been played, and instead of real reconciliation, Birdman leaned on other pieces on the board. P.B. Roscoe gets mentioned as alleged muscle, and Young Thug suddenly looks like Wayne's replacement, sitting in Birdman's lap, figuratively and musically. Birdman doesn't just move on. He swaps one vulnerable young star for another, like changing batteries in a machine. Then there's the part that makes even hardened rap fans uncomfortable: the satanic ritual rumors and the body count.
Is that Birdman intentionally signs a lot of young boys, a lot of young male artists, right? And one could say, well, they're full of so much potential, there's no purpose in signing. I'm not saying you gotta sign 40 or 50-year-olds, but it seems that he specifically and intentionally signs them very young. And I believe that he did this for 2 or 3 different reasons. One of the reasons is because the younger they are, the more impressionable they are, the easier they are to manipulate, both financially and other ways as well. Which leads me to my second point. It would be a lot easier to groom a person the younger that they are, especially a person like Lil Wayne with no father figure. You can help brainwash or warp the way that he sees life, especially considering the fact that you're successful, you have a lot of money, a lot of clout. So that gives him reason to believe that whatever you're doing must be right and I should listen to you. And it just came off almost, it comes off almost as if he takes these artists, he squeezes every bit of juice that he can get out of them, and then he tosses them to the side. When he's done with them, they're no longer relevant, no longer popping, and he don't have a need for them anymore, instead of actually investing in them like a true business and making it a reciprocal relationship. But when you look at Birdman's career, he's had too many people that's dropped around him like flies. And the third reason is because I believe that Birdman, I think it's open information that he is, public information that he's a blood gang member, but I also believe that he is a Freemason. And I believe that he's an occultist and he participates in satanic rituals, heavily following Aleister Crowley. Because in Aleister Crowley's Religion Dilemma, something that they talked about is doing some very evil things to children. Because children are innocent and adults can really benefit from doing certain things to them that I can't talk about on YouTube. I also believe that Birdman is a Freemason, not just because of his affiliations, but I think it's very evident when you look at a lot of his videos and a lot of the symbolism, and not only his videos, but his artist videos like Drake, Nicki Minaj, and especially Lil Wayne, which I have to do a video on Lil Wayne, but I'll add that to the other 50 videos that I'm trying to get to. Not to mention that Birdman literally has a pentagram on the top of his head. Another very odd thing that isn't really talked about enough when it comes to Birdman is the amount of artists that he signed that's actually passed away. I mean, Birdman has had a lot of artists died on his label. From Young Greatness, Magnolia Shorty, Sporty T, BTY Youngin, and Yellow Boy. And just real quick, let's just spend a little bit of time real quick talking about BTY Youngin. I remember a few years ago when he was trending and he was all over social media with freestyles, and then he ended up linking with Birdman. Yes, that kid was in the streets, but his death was very weird to me. I don't believe that. I don't know if Birdman had anything to do with it, but BET definitely thinks so. Like a platform like BET literally put out an article accusing Birdman of having something to do with what happened to the kid. I don't know if that's true or not.
Birdman signs young boys who are immature and easy to mold. He's tied to talk of satanic ritual symbolism. And people point to how many artists connected to his label have died young or crashed out in tragic ways. It's not just hip-hop is dangerous talk. It's specific to Cash Money in that orbit. They're not saying every death is a sacrifice, but they are saying the pattern is disturbing, and nobody in power ever seems eager to investigate. Add that to what Terrance saw enough around Cash Money to keep his distance from certain habits and games. He calls the Wayne kiss homie love, but you can hear it between the lines. This isn't what regular big brothers do. And when you line up Terrance's hitman stories, Juvenile's servant contract complaints, Wayne's legal conflict, and these rumors of young boys disappearing from the spotlight after calling Birdman out, you don't need anyone to scream evil at you. Terrance didn't just wake up one day and decide to gossip on the internet. He got to a point where staying loyal to Birdman costs more than telling the truth.
Why do you think that Baby didn't embrace you when you got out?
Because of me sitting at the table with the authorities about the day home about these. If I was still in the streets, my thing is, okay, you sat down, you saying you did it, but what else you told him? Or did you tell him anything else? So just because you, and then you gotta understand this here, where you know Birdman is big. So now, you know, this is a big celebrity now, you know what I'm saying? So now
the biggest.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, so now with his name out there, so I come home, face clean, a true stepper. I'm right there with him now. I got the Phantom, the Ghost, all these cars now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He can't really put me in the videos and rap about, yeah, my brother just did all this time. He a stepper, he did it or this.
Yeah.
Cause they're gonna,
gonna put you in the song. Yeah, you in the video and everything. Right. Yeah.
But the problem is, yeah, your brother did all that, but he a rat. He a snitch, we don't want to hear that. So now he got a choice to make. Man, listen, I can't rock with that.
Think about that. This is the same brother Birdman allegedly used as a hitman. The same brother he let take the fall when things got too hot. The same brother he underpaid while stacking his own millions. And when Terrance finally pulled the emergency brake and said, "I'm not going down for all of this," Birdman cut him off like he never existed. That's why Terrance is talking now. He's not some random outsider repeating rumors. He's a man who has already lost everything that street loyalty was supposed to protect. He did decades in a cell. He watched his youth disappear. He watched Birdman keep living large, unbothered, and now, with his freedom paid for in time and paperwork, he's decided he owes the streets, and Birdman, nothing. That's why his words land so hard when he says that kiss between Wayne and Birdman looked like homie love. He knows the difference between a father and a boss, between family and leverage. And if someone that close is willing to say Birdman's behavior turned him off, that should tell you just how far past the line this all went. In the end, Terrance bought his freedom with the truth. Now he's spending that freedom telling the part of the story nobody else is brave or bitter enough to say out loud. And that leaves you with two questions that nobody at the top seems eager to answer. If a man can exploit his own brother, condition fatherless boys, and walk away from every storm untouched, how many more sons will have to be sacrificed before the industry finally admits this isn't mentorship? It's a pattern. The next time you see a young rapper hugging a powerful OG on camera, are you watching a genuine blessing or the first step in a deal where his talent, his body, and his future all belong to someone else? You don't have to decide tonight if Birdman is a monster or just another hustler. But after everything Terrance, Wayne, Juvenile, and those lost boys have shown us, you do have to decide one thing. Are you still comfortable pretending this is just music business? Or are you finally starting to see how many boys get sacrificed so a few men can stay big? If you like this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.